today we are doing the worst NBA draft picks since 2000, especially when this is coming out. It will be around draft time. Remember, it is since 2000. All right.
Yes.
So there was a total of 20 players that we picked. 11 people made it onto our list because we did have a tie. So, gentlemen, like usual, are you ready?
Yes.
I'm ready.
All right, so we're going to go into our two-way tie. This one is coming from a school that none of us like. It is from an earlier draft. This is from the 2005 NBA draft. This person was the second pick. It is Marvin Williams. He was voted on by myself, D3, and Vitamin J.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's a bad player. When you look at the next two picks, Deron Williams, perennial all-star when he was healthy, and then Chris Paul. Yeah, either one of those two.
With the talent surrounding him in the draft, it's just he has to be on there. We remember, because we're old, that he came in with a lot of hype.
Mhm.
He was supposed to be the better of the best of the UNC players.
Yeah, he did, because that was after Roy Williams' first championship with Carolina. They came off that year. Like, at the time, I just kind of felt he was on a really good team that you couldn't zone in on him, because especially college-wise, because they had Sean May, Raymond Felton was good. But I was like, it was a good team. I didn't think he was really all that, what people were making him out to be. I was like, it's okay. I don't know if I would have gone second with him. I just kind of felt there was better choices out there.
Also, the next two picks will be a massive improvement.
Well, the next three were better than him. Raymond Felton was after that.
Oh, yeah. Raymond Felton had a solid career. I don't know. I just was not with this pick. We will go on to our next one. Also tied at number 10, coming in with 7 points, was only voted on by one person. This player came in with a lot of hype. There were concerns about them, and it's a tragedy because they had several spurts where they actually look like they might be something, but could never stay healthy. The 3 picks after him really make him look bad, especially the pick right after him kind of is the real killer. It is 2007's Greg Oden, was solely voted on by Max.
Wait, you said Greg Oden?
Yes.
I'm not the only...
You were the only one who put Greg Oden.
Wait, hold on.
Seven.
I really... Hold on. I'm so... Y'all really didn't put Greg Oden on your list?
No.
I tend not to put him on the list for injuries.
I didn't think it was a bad pick. I understood where they were coming from. Where the other guys, I just felt were stupid picks. This one, I understood.
I feel like, though, the magnitude of the mistake
It's
yeah.
large.
Yes.
So I feel like it has to be on a list just for the sheer franchise-changing decision you made. Imagine if they have Kevin Durant and they eventually got Damian Lillard too. I mean, I know it's not guaranteed.
They probably wouldn't have because they had Brandon Roy, and which that was also unfortunate because Brandon Roy was killing it and he got hurt.
Yeah, but if
his knees just couldn't.
He could have been healthy because he wouldn't have had to carry so much.
Yeah, because I think they would just have Roy there or after that, but.
That still makes me sad. His career ending that way. He was so good.
And when did they get Aldridge?
But yeah, just imagine Durant with that team. So yeah, that's why he made the list. Not that it was a dumb pick, but it was just the magnitude of you missing out on a top 10 to 15 player of all time has to factor in.
I understand your reasoning. I just chose not to pick players because of injuries.
I'm shocked that no one else voted for it.
Yeah, again, like I saw it and I kind of believed in him. I could see also with the injury concerns because he did miss
That's what I'm saying.
a good portion of that Ohio State, at least half of it. Or
he missed a lot of time.
For that Ohio State season. They did go to the finals, but when he was playing, he was a beast. And defensively, he was a monster. If this dude could just stay healthy, but I can also understand why it would be why some would say it was a dumb pick because Kevin Durant, he was hurt beforehand, and we all didn't know about the whole 6th grade thing where he had the broken leg. They never checked in on it or whatever happened to him.
We also didn't know he was 45.
That too.
I mean, he was looking 19-year-old.
We often question.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah. We often question because the first time I saw him, I'm like, "That's an 18-year-old."
Yeah.
Like, are we sure? Are we sure? Because something don't look right about this. For those in case don't know, Kevin Durant was picked right after that.
Yeah.
And there was a big question of should you go with Odin or Durant?
Yeah, because the knock on Durant coming in is that he wasn't strong, and he was never going to be strong, pretty much.
Yeah, he can't bench
Oh.
press so many times.
180 it was.
180.
So they thought he was
That's
going to
like-
get pushed around in league. They didn't foresee that it was going to become a small man's game.
I remember when that happened. I was like, but he doesn't need, like he's gonna be a jump shooting scorer a lot of times, even though he can't really drive a lot. But I'm like, so it doesn't really matter.
Some other people that were picked. Also, Al Horford was picked with the third pick.
So,
His teammate, his Ohio State teammate, who's had a pretty good career, Mike Conley, also had Jeff Green, Joakim Noah went ninth. Gator Boys. I just felt with some of these others I put were just I felt they were dumber picks.
that's all fine and dandy.
But I understand. I understand where you're coming from with that because the fact you could have had one of the greatest talents.
Oh, Max, we were
especially
all wrong.
probably arguably top 5 player since 2000. Right after that, but you know what? Portland and drafting big men, never really. They have a history of not working out.
LaMarcus Aldridge was drafted the year before Durant.
Ooh, they could have had Brent. So it would have been Brandon Roy, LaMarcus, and Kevin. Ooh,
Mhm.
ooh, that team would have been nice.
Yeah.
All right, next person we're going to go into was voted on by 2 people. While they did have a great college career, there was still question marks in their game. There was a lot that was kind of left to be savored. This one might be also because other circumstances came around them. And this is going to 2015 draft with the 9th pick. And who, surprise, surprise, Jordan making a bad pick. From the Charlotte Hornets, it is Frank Kaminsky coming in with 8 points. Myself and Vitamin J voted for him.
Yeah, bleep this pick. I wanted
What's that,
Justice Winslow, but I also wanted Miles Turner. And
Yes.
also, who went later? Another player I wanted was Devin Booker.
Who ended up being a stud. Unless you ask Bobby, then never mind. He sucks.
Like, I just did not get the hype behind Frank Kaminsky. I just did not see what everybody else was seeing about how good people thought he was going to be so good in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, no, he's not. The game's not translating. At very best, he was an Andre Barriani, a poor man's Andre Barriani for me.
And I knew Jordan was going to pick this dude. He can't resist. He just cannot resist.
This is the era like when whoever the Hornets pick wasn't going to be good, but like the next couple of players would. Malik Monk, Donovan Mitchell. And they drafted Kemba Walker, but he had Bismack beyond what we could have had. Kawhi Leonard.
At the time, I was actually more of I did like Justice Winslow there, or I did really like Miles Turner because I really followed him. Because he was actually at one point thinking of going to Duke as well, so I followed him then. But I just was like, perimeter wise, just get him. He's gonna be good, and Miles Turner would have been tremendously better.
Boston also proposed giving the Hornets, it was like 3 or 4 first-round picks to move to number 9, and the Hornets turned it down.
I feel like it wasn't truly 6 first-round picks. I feel like it would be a lot of pick swaps.
I don't think it was.
There's no way you turned down 6 first rounds.
I don't think it was 6. I think it was like 3 or 4.
It better have been, because I've heard reports of 6, so there's no way you turned down 6 first-round picks.
Bro,
I don't care who it is at number 9 you're
If I was
drafting.
the Hornets, I wanted to turn down 2.
Yeah, not especially for what pick was he? 9 or whatever.
Mhm. Yeah. 9. Yeah, I would have been like
3 first-rounders to not pick at 9. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, I'm like that late in the lottery. And yeah, sure. It's kind of a crapshoot at that point. But still, you just had other options that I felt were better.
My point was I figured his offensive translate. He had 2 11-point seasons. But he's 7 feet and can't rebound. His most rebounds in the season is 4.6. And he's 7 feet.
Disgusting.
That's horrible.
Mhm.
That's horrible.
He wasn't really crazy athletic. He was a good shooter. He was a really good shooter, but he was like outstanding.
Not a great one. Not one that,
His ball handling was okay.
It was also
Between-
hard to see him really improving from what he was.
Yeah.
It seemed like he was
wasn't
maxed out.
great. I didn't think he was good at everything. He was just average at everything. So
Very
what
well
probably really helped his draft stock was him playing against Karl Anthony Towns in the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
Where he went off that game.
If you're a white forward and you come in heavily hyped and you fall to the Hornets, with Michael Jordan as owner, you're probably going to get picked.
Like the last good white American forward was probably Gordon Hayward. But Kevin Love might have been. Like Kevin Love might have been before him.
Yeah, Kevin was before.
All right, so we're gonna go into our next one. Our next one, Ooh, I can't believe put him on the list. Eesh. Coming in at 8th place, this person's often gotten destroyed and clowned. 2 instances have caused why this person's gotten the hatred is a certain trade that was made and a certain ESPN commentator. This was The Mountain and solely Hunter. Solely, none of the rest of us put him there.
Why am I not surprised?
It
that
is
he would-
2001 first pick, Kwame Brown.
Bro, I'm not messing with Kwame. No.
That's what I was hoping wasn't making. Oh, it was solely Hunter.
Yeah.
Solely Hunter.
Yeah, and look, Kwame Brown, man, if he finds out, he might put us. I don't want to mess with Kwame.
I want that.
Got no beef with him. He was an outstanding player. Fourth number one pick, if you ask me.
Nice long career. I mean, so look at this. Okay, here's the top 10. Kwame Brown, Tyson Chandler, which okay. Pau Gasol, good. Eddie Curry, not so good. Jason Richardson, okay. Shane Battier, okay. Eddie Griffin, no. The Sagan, yeah. No. Rodney White, no. Joe Johnson, yeah. So it's like a lot of misses.
It has to be White with the name Kirk.
And he's a 16th pick. Michael Bradley, 17. Like, this is not a great draft class.
Really, with Kwame Brown, a lot of his career, also why there's such a narrative is one, because he was in that Paul Gasol trade. And two, because honestly, a lot of it had to do with Stephen A. Smith, because I feel a lot of people didn't really talk about him till Stephen A. Smith started like banging the door about Kwame Brown. Like, I feel that was kind of a big reason people kind of now.
Kwame got fed up too.
I don't blame him one bit.
He came back with his receipts, went after everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Even went after John Morant, man. His John Morant thing, man.
Mhm.
I'm like, ooh, that dude.
You're like, NBA young boy, you NBA dumb boy. Like,
You don't mess with Kwame. He will get you.
And again, only one person voted for him. The rest of us had nothing to do with it.
which want that to be clear.
We're going to our number 7. Came in with 18 points. This draft's going to be the most recent draft that's going to be on our list. This player had a pretty outstanding career. Unfortunately, just not been able to get started the way we hoped to. And unfortunately, the person that came, there was 2 big players that were drafted right after him. They did have a very great freshman year at college, but it just not translated into the league. It is 2018's second overall pick, Marvin Bagley III. It was voted on by Bobby Hunter. Sorry, it was 16 points, not 18.
This is like the next pick is Luca.
Yeah, but then you could have had Trey Young too.
When Marvin
Jaren
Bagley has
Jackson
played, yeah,
Was
Jaren
also after
Jackson.
this.
My mom was like, when Marvin Bagley has played, he's played good, but nowhere close to a number 2 overall pick.
I thought he was gonna be a stud.
I thought he'd be a stud too, but I thought Luca should have been number 1 that year.
I had no opinion.
And I
had
was
no
tempted.
idea.
I was tempted to put DeAndre Ayton as well on this list, but he's produced better than.
I mean, every
Bagley
year he's had a
has.
double at least.
Yeah.
But my issue was like, so the next player is Luca, who's probably top 5 player, top 6 player in the NBA right now. Then you also have Trey Young, who's probably top 20, and you got Jaren Jackson Jr., who just won Defensive Player of the Year, and he's not on the team anymore. He got traded year 3?
But yeah, to get traded after a few years to be a second overall pick, that's really bad.
Yeah.
Just couldn't stay healthy. I remember even before he played a summer league game with James Harden, and even James Harden had the quote where he said, "If Houston has a shot at getting this kid, we need to get him." And then with Luca, reason I didn't put it on is, again, I saw where it was coming from. At the time, what a lot of people need to remember, European players were very much a question mark. Because there was a there was a while where there was bad European players coming. Like right now, yes, we have Doncic and Joker, which have saved it, and Porzingis did pretty well too. But there was a good stretch where it was like this European player all just seemed to fail. And there was a lot of hype about Doncic, but there was a lot of question marks. I will even say myself, he wasn't really athletic. How good is this guy going to be? A lot of questions. Trey Young, could he translate? People were comparing to Steph Curry, but I was like, Steph Curry's better than this, and he's also taller. But there's a lot of questions around these other players that I see where they were going with it. Because we did not foresee Doncic being this good this quickly.
I didn't think this good, but I thought he was the best player in the draft.
Well, now you know whenever the Mavericks or Spurs are interested in a foreign player, you should be interested as well.
But yeah, that's my reason. So you got potentially 2 or 3 Hall of Fame players selected shortly after him. And then, like I said, he doesn't even make the team the full rookie contract. That's not
Yeah,
good.
that's rough.
So coming in at 6th spot, it was voted on by everybody. They were coming in with 23 points. It's going to be a pair of people. This one is going to come from a little while ago. Well, they both didn't have stellar careers, but there was things that affected this. And probably when we explain it, you're going to understand what happened. This is coming from the 2009 draft, Ricky Rubio / Johnny Flynn. Yeah, the big reason this is on pretty much all of our lists is because if you remember that year, for those of you guys who don't remember, was the year Minnesota had 2 picks back to back, the 5th and 6th pick, and they wanted a point guard. So they went Ricky Rubio first, who they were touting as this crazy passer, especially after, I believe, the Olympics. He was playing for Spain. And then Johnny Flynn from Syracuse was their other pick, who was coming off a pretty good year. But the 7th pick was this other guy. You might have heard of him, Steph Curry.
Who?
And arguably one of the top 15 players of all time, top 10 in some people's circles, was picked after that. Who's also a point guard.
Yeah.
The reason why I put it as both of them is because you were going for a point guard and you didn't select Steph with either pick. I wasn't a fan of Ricky Rubio. To be honest, I wouldn't have gone with Rubio. I would have probably gone with Flynn. Granted, he'd end up having a better career than Flynn, but I was like, really, you're not picking Steph. You're going to go 2 straight point guards because how are you going to play those two together? How's it going to, like, at least Steph, you can play off the ball. I know there's a lot of question marks on Steph. I'm going to let somebody else talk about that.
Yeah, it's just dumb. Like you said, the reason is they selected Ricky Rubio first and then Johnny Flynn. And Johnny Flynn is 6 feet tall. So he really can only play point guard. So that means if you want to play both at the same time, Ricky Rubio is going to play the shooting guard. And Ricky Rubio can't shoot. And he couldn't back then, and he still can't.
For his career, he shoots 38% from the field and 32% from 3.
So from the jump, the plan was never going to work. And Steph, by far, was the best one coming in the draft, especially if you saw how he carried Davidson in college. So it just does, and he obviously could shoot in college. He was still making those ridiculous shots even in college. So it just made no sense. You're going to double dip in point guard and not take the best point guard.
Because I understand not going like one because there was a lot of question marks, but like at least that they're like because you knew Steph was going to be a good shooter at very least. So at least that would have made sense of what you're trying to do.
Yeah, and this isn't revisionist history. Like, we're not saying it after the fact. It was pretty much a foregone conclusion that Steph was the best point guard in that draft.
Mm-hmm.
We were all big Steph fans. Again, Davidson is in North Carolina, so of course we were all rooting for the local guy.
It was very questionable of what were you thinking with those 2 picks.
Because that makes no sense drafting back-to-back point guards. Makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I'm like you. I just thought I would not have taken Ricky Rubio. I was not feeling the hype.
No, we
I mean,
so overrated.
He didn't have, like I said, didn't have a bad career. 10.8 points, 7.4 assists,
No, but
1.8
like-
steals.
But people
Not
were
Steph
calling
Curry.
but at the time, people were like putting it to Steve Nash, Jason Kidd level passing, and he's gonna be this like Steve Nash, Jason Kidd. They were hyping him that much, and I was
People
like,
were
no.
so hyping him up.
I'm like, oh, these guys came in a lot, like had a lot more to their game than this guy. And I'm like, he can't play defense. We know that. I understand the shooting thing, but because Jason Kidd couldn't shoot at first, and I was like, come on, we need to slow down on this guy's skills. Another person who got picked a couple picks later, DeMar DeRozan, which was another one they could have gone with.
Yeah, they could have gone point guard, shooting guard. Boom.
Yeah, something. It just did not make sense.